Whether you are building a gaming PC or a workstation, the chances are that you are going with a high-end graphics card like the NVIDIA RTX 3090. However, such a high-end graphics card will only be used to its full potential if you are using an equally powerful CPU along with it. Thus, we are here with the best CPUs for RTX 3090 in this video. Number 1. AMD Ryzen 9 5900X 12-core 24-thread unlocked processor. AMD offers both entry-level and high-end processors under its Ryzen series of processors that are perfect for both gaming and productivity, which is true for its high-end CPU mentioned here. The AMD Ryzen 9 5900X CPU for RTX 3090 is present at the first position in this list since it is one of the best options if you want something for both gaming and productivity. Starting with the core count, this is a 12-core and 24-thread processor, which should be more than enough for most. In fact, this processor even comes with 70 MB for excellent multitasking performance. Apart from offering high-end multitasking performance, this processor is also quite great for gaming thanks to its given clock speeds of up to 3.7 GHz base and 4.8 GHz boost. You can expect all of this from this processor while having a TDP of 105 watts, which is quite decent. Regarding the installation of this processor, it uses the highly common AMD AM4 CPU socket. Best features are: features a total of 12 cores and 24 threads. Offers 70 MB cache. Rated for clock speeds of up to 3.7 GHz base and 4.8 GHz boost. TDP rating of 105 watts. Uses the AMD AM4 CPU socket. Number 2. Intel Core i9-11900K desktop processor. Even though Intel has recently launched its brand new 12th generation of processors, the previous 11th generation is still a great option, especially for gaming, as you can see down below. Intel's Core i9-11900K CPU for RTX 3090 is present at the second position in this listicle, as this is still an amazing option for gaming PCs despite being an older generation processor. But if you want, you can still use it for productivity thanks to its 8-core and 16-thread design. Unfortunately, this Intel processor only offers 16 MB of cache, which is much lower than AMD's offerings. Thankfully, this processor is still a great pick for many thanks to the given clock speeds of up to 3.5 GHz base and 5.3 GHz boost, which makes it excellent for gaming. Considering its given clock speeds, this Intel processor also has a decent TDP of 125 watts, which can be easily managed. And while it is not the latest, the Intel LGA 1200 CPU socket used by this processor is easy to find in motherboards. Best features are: features a total of 8 cores and 16 threads. Offers 16 MB cache. Rated for clock speeds of up to 3.5 GHz base and 5.3 GHz boost. TDP rating of 125 watts. Uses the Intel LGA 1200 CPU socket. Number 3. AMD Ryzen 9 5950X 16-core 32-thread unlocked processor. AMD is still the best option out there if you wish to build a workstation PC while going with consumer-grade processors, as you can see with its high Ryzen processors as explained here. This AMD Ryzen 9 5950X CPU for RTX 3090 is present at the third position in this article because it is the best option for workstations and productivity usage, even though it is a bit old when compared with Intel's latest offerings. For making this a great processor for workstations, AMD has offered 16 cores and 32 threads with it. Not only that, but you also get 72 MB cache with this processor for the best possible performance. Unlike what you would expect from such a high core count processor, this one offers clock speeds of up to 3.4 GHz base and 4.9 GHz boost, which means that it is also great for gaming. Despite offering a higher core count, this Ryzen 9 CPU also has a TDP of 105 watts, which is the same as the previous one. Another similarity that you will find is the AMD AM4 CPU socket used by this processor, which is always great to have. Best features are: features a total of 16 cores and 32 threads. Offers 72 megabytes cache. Rated for clock speeds of up to 3.4 GHz base and 4.9 GHz boost. TDP rating of 105 watts. Uses the AMD AM4 CPU socket. Number 4. Intel Core i7-12700K Desktop Processor 12. You can also find slightly cheaper yet highly powerful options from Intel if you wish to buy a powerful CPU from its newer 12th generation of processors like the one given here. Intel's Core i7-12700K CPU for RTX 3090 is another great pick if you wish to have a high-performance CPU for gaming. While it might not be the highest, its given 12-core and 20-thread design is still amazing for general productivity tasks. Another great thing about this processor is that it offers 25 megabytes cache with this processor, which is always great to have. But the primary feature of this processor from Intel is that you get amazing clock speeds of up to 2.7 GHz base and 5.0 GHz boost, which makes it one of the best gaming performance out there. However, its TDP is still rated at 125 watts like the more powerful Intel Core i9, which is a bit on the higher side. One similarity between these two 12th generation Intel processors, which is to be expected, is the Intel LGA1700 CPU socket used by both of them. Best features are: features a total of 12 cores and 20 threads. Offers 25 megabytes cache. Rated for clock speeds of up to 2.7 GHz base and 5.0 GHz boost. TDP rating of 125 watts. Uses the Intel LGA1700 CPU socket. Number 5. AMD Ryzen 7 5800X 8-core 16-thread unlocked processor. AMD and its Ryzen 7 processor can also be another great pick for all those who want to have a powerful processor for all kinds of applications without paying a premium for the same. The AMD Ryzen 7 5800X CPU for RTX 3090 can be another high value for money pick, especially for those who wish to build a mid-tier workstation that can also be used for gaming. Similar to the Intel offering, this one also offers 8 cores and 16 threads for all your multi-threaded applications. But unlike the Intel one, this offers 36 megabytes cache, making it the better pick. While it might not be as high as Intel's offerings, the given clock speeds of up to 3.8 GHz base and 4.7 GHz boost are still pretty amazing. And unlike the Intel CPU offering, this one has a much lower TDP rating of 105 watts, making it much easier to cool. Apart from being highly efficient, this CPU is also highly versatile thanks to its AMD AM4 CPU, which can be found in all AMD motherboards. Best features are: features a total of 8 cores and 16 threads. Offers 36 megabytes cache. Rated for clock speeds of up to 3.8 GHz base and 4.7 GHz boost. TDP rating of 105 watts. Uses the AMD AM4 CPU socket.